Hi, good evening. I'm Robbie and welcome to the Down Under Marketing Mastermind call for Thursday, the 1st of May. Tonight we have on a call all the way from London in the UK, Greg and Fiona Scott. They're a couple of Kiwis living in the UK and living the laptop lifestyle. And tonight they're going to be talking about what to expect at the Momentum Day, which is coming up in November in Sydney. So let's join them on the call now.
So we'll just start from scratch.
Yes.
What we're talking about was the importance of networking with each other. So, like, I know that you guys have got an awesome group with the Down Under group, on Facebook, where everybody is helping each other out. But I just wanted to impact on the importance of attending the Momentum Day if you can possibly get there in Sydney at the end of November. And the reason why it's so important is that just meeting everybody and brainstorming and chatting, face people about what traffic strategies you're using that are working, your marketing, how you would research, how you're doing your back indication and distribution, things like that, and just compare notes with each other and talking about what's working and what's not. And even if you just get, a couple of little nuggets of analysis that you can take away with, it just makes it all the more important. Plus, to meet like-minded people. So not everyone is lucky enough to have the environment at home that they've got 100% support from their loved ones and their family. Some people that are still a bit skeptical about what everyone is up to. But at least you can overcome that into the momentum and getting some feedback, from people that are on the same journey, and so they know what you're going through and they understand the ups and downs. They understand the roller coaster that you're on, and the fact that that there is down days and there are up days as well.
So we're just getting feedback that people aren't hearing us very well still. We've just changed one of the settings that go to webinar. Have told us to change.
Yeah.
Can people say if they can hear us any better now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Greg.
Oh, cool. Okay, so that's made it better, has it?
Yeah. Although I haven't got anything now.
Oh no, we just stopped talking. Yeah. So everyone can hear us all right now, can they?
Yeah.
Please type yes if you can hear us okay in the chat box.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So it did work.
Okay. So then, firstly, an apology and thanks for your patience of bearing with us.
No worries. That's what this call's about.
Yeah. So has anyone got any questions about the Momentum Day in November or anything like that?
Yes.
Who's
Sarah
not
has
coming?
one.
Okay, and we'll just unmute.
Yeah, actually, hands up if you're not coming. No, I can't say that. we just encourage absolutely everybody to get there if you possibly can. Oh, Lani, she says, I'm not sure what really to expect. Excellent. What I was just saying before when you couldn't hear me is that the Momentum Day, well, we've been to 3 so far, and each one has been quite different for various reasons. The last one was the one where Jay had just lost his cousin.
No, where Stuart had.
Sorry, Stuart, yeah, what am I saying? Stuart had just lost his cousin, so we just had Jay, and to be fair, Jay managed really well, but he was winging most of it. But it had an awful lot of impact for us because he shared the processes that he went through when he was just starting out. And what it made me think of is that we all, and a couple of people that we've spoken to with our goal coaching call earlier today, as well as a lot of guys, well, a lot of people actually, they look at at other people and look at the success that they're having and wonder why they're not getting the same success. But the only difference between you know, them and you is time, and that people have been doing stuff for a lot longer. Someone said they were listening to the coffee call or the cocktail call that Sean and Kelly did on Tuesday, and just thought they seemed ultra successful, which they are, but they've been building their businesses for quite a number of years now. And same with us, you know, we've been in SFM since the outset, since 2010, so we've got, you know, an awful lot of experience in building our business, so you can't realistically compare yourself and the progress you're making with anyone else apart from yourself. And just drawing it back to the Momentum Day that Jay was talking at in January this year, he as well shared his starting out experience, and it's a story that he hasn't actually shared at all. You know, we've all heard his farming story, you know, where he started life, but he's never actually spoken much about how he first started getting leads and how he first started building relationships with those leads. And it's fair to say that he fair struggled, and he didn't have any marketing budget back then either, did he?
No, he didn't. No, not at all.
And I thought, gosh, that's just what he's describing to us is the exact experience for absolutely everybody starting out online. Apart from, you know, a few rare exceptions, for most people it is quite a struggle. But he was absolutely, and the quality that came through of that Momentum Day was just Jay's sheer tenacity and perseverance and belief, and building the belief in himself that he could make a go of connecting with people and building relationships with people, because at the end of the day that's the only way you're going to make sales.
Yeah, and one of the things that we got out of that as well is that, you know, if you're having a bad day and you think things are bad, there's always someone that's having a worse day than you are. Yeah. Jay was having a lot of bad days. So you know, it's and we were just saying to someone on the call before that this whole business is a roller coaster. I mean, you'll have days where it's absolutely amazing and everything goes really well together. Sorry, everything goes really well, and then the next day you'll have something that just completely takes the wind out of your sails. Yeah. So it's kind of like it's always going to be ups and downs, no matter how successful you are in this business. It's always going to be. It's kind of feast or famine. It's like you're either doing really well, and then something will just come and knock you down the next day, and you just got to keep picking yourself up.
Yeah, but the secret is it's like being on a roller coaster and you're strapped in for the ride. You know, there's no way off. And if you're having a down day, well then, you know, as sure as eggs are eggs, there is going to be an up day coming soon, and you just need to persevere and believe in yourself and get through to that up day.
Yeah.
But another Momentum Day that Stuart and Jay had in September last year, they sort of took turns in doing their training. And so Jay started out with some rock-solid mindset belief training that he has since, you know, repeated quite a few times in the 90-day blueprint webinars. But Stuart also shared some content, you know, of how he starts each day, and the system and the process that he starts each day, you know, with drinking his pint of water and getting some exercise, taking the dog for a walk. So he shared the importance about having structure and process and how you go about your business building. But he also shared quite a few tips about being present with yourself whilst you're building your business, but in the same token also being present with your family and your loved ones, you know, so that they know that they're appreciated and that they still get quality time with you as well. And all you guys with families and with children will you know, realise this and the importance of it.
Yeah, Sandra, you're wanting to ask some questions. I think you're unmuted as well,
yeah.
So
yeah, go ahead,
fire away.
Hi guys, it's great to have you here. Obviously a lot of us down here haven't had the experience of Momentum Day. I've got my ticket. I'm really excited.
Yeah, cool.
I said to another member the other day, even if I have to hitchhike and sleep in a bus shelter, I will be at Momentum Day. I have my ticket. Now, obviously it's a full day because I was reading that they supply us with a light luncheon at Momentum Day. So obviously it's a full day from morning to afternoon. Should we like take notepads and pens or laptops and stuff like that? Because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of really valuable information that's going to come at us, and we're not going to be able to remember it all. So
yeah, definitely take note paper and pens. You probably won't need a laptop because there's not really any technical stuff done on a Momentum Day. It's more motivational stuff, and also letting you know what's happening in SFM and stuff like that. So definitely take notes.
Or if you've got an iPad or a tablet, definitely take that. I find it's we're going paperless, so we're not taking notes anymore. We're just getting everything
into Evernote.
Into Evernote, where we tag it, so we know exactly where to find our notes of stuff. But yes, there will be a lot of note taking.
Cool. That's cool.
So Evernote's really good for that.
Yeah, I've got Evernote on my iPad, so that's really cool. I was thinking about taking the iPad. And at Momentum Day, we get to sort of mingle with guys like you and Sri and stuff like that who are coming out to Momentum Day too, don't we?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, it's just like we're all in a room together. Yeah.
And that's one of the most important parts, is just to speak to as many people as possible, as well as Jay and Stu, of course. And Martin will be there. Martin is he is just the most super guy, and he's so excited about organising it. And I think, and don't hold me to it, but I think he was hoping to have maybe a barbecue on the evening before. So don't go and book accommodation in Sydney just yet on the Thursday night until he confirms everything. But he does actually want to make a song and dance about it.
Yeah, I mean, really, the reason they want the Momentum Day is so that they can meet everyone in Australia and New Zealand, and that is just because there's so many people in SFM, and it's such a, you guys have got such a strong community that, they just really want to get down there and meet you guys. So that's what it's all about. I mean, they say that it starts at 9:30 in the morning, but it's usually about 10:30 because everyone's just sort of standing around talking to each other for a while beforehand. So
and there will be coffee and nibbles, and the lunches that we've had in the UK have been sort of 3-course lunches, so they have been quite substantial.
Depends on the hotel's like, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does depend on the hotel that Martin's got sorted. And there's generally always drinks in the evening as well, so if you need to find accommodation for the Saturday night.
Definitely.
If you can find accommodation for the Saturday night, we would recommend staying over.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds
was that all, Sandra, or did you have something else?
We're really looking forward to it. It'd be great.
Make sure I had the iPad, and I realised it was a full day, and that I can get to converse with people that I'm really dying to meet, and that I've been following and stalking, as I call it.
And if you think that you can outdrink Jay, well, you've got another thing coming. So I think he is quite ready for Aussie drinkers.
I don't drink, so.
Neither do I.
Oh well, that's right. So you can take all the incriminating photos.
Yeah. You can be the Stuart Ross wannabe. Actually, if you don't drink, I challenge you to try and get him on camera if he's tipsy.
Oh, don't worry. I'll have my video camera.
Yeah. We've got to get Stuart back.
What goes on tour stays on tour, though.
Well, it wasn't all up until the last one when he put a video on Facebook. I was horrified.
So what else would you guys like us to cover? I mean, we're basically whatever you want us to talk about. We're cool. Got any questions? Any outstanding questions? Oh, one thing I was going to ask.
I do have a
Sorry, Sandra, you just broke up then.
Yeah, I have a question. I've been wondering, because you guys have done 2 books now, is it? Have you
just
done
one. Be nice if it was 2. Yeah, well, no,
I was just wondering.
It's a solid book, yeah.
Yeah, the book that you did, because you guys have been with the SFM since 2010, and you were obviously involved in business before the SFM. Did that book idea start before the SFM, or was that your baby that you sort of developed when you became members in the SFM?
It was more. It wasn't just necessarily because we're in SFM. It was more just about our whole journey, you know, trying to make a living online, and it was really because we made more mistakes than anybody else, wasn't it? And we thought we'd best tell people to avoid these mistakes. So that's where the idea came from, was to not do the things that we've done, yeah. or to try and avoid that sort of thing. So that's why we wrote that.
Cool.
But it's also, I mean, what it actually did, and it was a bit of an ordeal, I have to say, but it cemented in our minds, beyond all doubt, how much information we did know. And that's something that a lot of SFMers are actually guilty of, is not actually giving themselves a huge big pat on the back for how much learning they've achieved and how much they have implemented and how much they actually do know. A lot of people take it for granted, you know, that they know how Aweber works, or they know how to upload a video to YouTube, or they know how to do keyword research or to do backlinking or things like that. But that is quite specialist knowledge, and it's knowledge worth sharing, both with the people on your list, but also to establish your expertise. And it's only when it came to writing the book that it made it crystallized in my head, certainly, not so much Greg, but me, because I thought I was technophobic, and all of that was just a limiting belief, but it crystallized in my head exactly how much we know. And so it was a very, very worthwhile exercise from that point of view. And so if you guys can just even, you know, blog like demons and do videos about stuff that you already know about, even though you think it might be basic, it's not basic for the majority of the population of the world, and it's not basic for the people that you're getting on your list.
And Lani, just to answer your questions, you said you feel like you're constantly in training mode, and it seems like you need to train for a year before you take any action. The whole reason that people get overwhelmed is because they think that they don't know enough stuff, yeah. when in fact, yeah. Well, let me put it this way: it's like us going out for a run, which we don't particularly like doing. The hardest part is actually getting out the door. As soon as we're out the door, we're fine. Yeah. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing with putting into action what you've done. There's not really anything that's. It's not like anything you do is going to have a huge impact on the rest of the world. So, for example, if you put an ad on Facebook, it's not like the whole of Facebook's going to look at your ad and go, "Oh my God, did they really do that ad?"
Yeah.
It's that sort of thing that puts people off. Whereas, in fact, if you just go and do, let's just say, use Facebook as an example, is do one ad. Nothing's going to happen. It's just going to be the first step to you actually implementing stuff. And it's like you really don't need to know very much to start marketing and to start doing things. It's really the two things you've got to know how to do is how to use WordPress, because blogging is probably one of the best strategies that you can use. And the second thing is just having a traffic strategy. And for most people, we recommend Facebook just because it's real people. You know that the people are real. You know that you can target them. The targeting is second to none, really, and it's really just taking that first little step to doing those things. You know, when you put a blog post out, your first blog post, nobody's going to see it, are they?
No.
It just doesn't. putting something online doesn't mean to say the whole world sees it. So if that's what's holding you back, it's really just a matter of getting out there and taking that first step.
But also, if you just have the regime of when you learn something, it goes back to the 80-20 rule. When you learn something, you spend 20% of your time learning and 80% of your time implementing. So again, we were just saying to someone earlier, there's no point watching a video training and engage in a training if you've got no intention of implementing it straight away. In that instance, you're just wasting your time because you're watching it for nothing. And we know that we all have short spans of attention and we just don't remember stuff for long. So you'll be watching a training. If you don't implement it, you're going to forget what you've watched, what you've learnt, and you're just wasting your time in that respect. So one thing is to, if you are watching a training, implement it straight away. And if you are finding yourself overwhelmed, and if maybe, I'll use the word afraid, maybe afraid to do something, then just sit there and question yourself, what exactly is it that you're afraid of? And think it through rationally and sort of convince yourself out of that fear and just tell yourself that, you know, what's the worst that can happen? Think about what's the worst that can happen, and does that really impact you? Is that really worthy of being afraid of? Probably not.
And another thing that you can do to get over that training mode kind of thing is to actually have a schedule and, you know, set up a schedule saying what you need to be doing during the week or the day and really stick to it. When we use a schedule, which should be most of the time,
but it isn't.
But it isn't, because the most difficult thing with the schedule is sticking to it. But if you have a countdown timer on your mobile that sets off an alarm after, say, half an hour, and you know you've got yourself a particular task to do, what you'll find is that you find yourself trying to beat the clock and really get lots of stuff done that way as well.
But there is a schedule in the Down Under group under the files or documents added. I added it there a couple of months ago now. So maybe just go back and have a look at it and download it. Unfortunately, it's set out for a UK person, so it's set in UK time zone, and they've got a little advertising budget and also a full-time day job. But that seems to be, you know, standard for most of the people. So you might have to tweak it a little bit, you know, for webinar times in your part of the world.
Yeah, and sorry, we're just looking at the chat because it's really tiny and I can't find out how to make it any bigger.
You can pull it sideways.
Yeah, I did that and it didn't.
It still gives you one line, but
yeah, it's kind of gone a bit weird. Yeah, but someone said, sorry, I'm just trying to find it. Hang on. Yeah, Nicole, you were saying when you were stressing about your ad being correct and everything, and then you realise that you're not losing millions. I mean, you can just do an ad for $5 and it'll just run, and if nothing happens, it doesn't happen, but you've learned something, you know. So that's always good. That's just not going to disappear. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just having a look down at more questions and stuff as well.
Someone says, "How did you guys start out?"
A schedule in the back office?
Oh no, sorry. It's the schedule was actually in the Down Under Facebook group.
Yeah, it's their daily schedule template.
It's one of the options of. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in there.
That's a good question. Actually, yeah.
Cool.
How did we start out? We got, long story short. We were travelling around the world for 3 months because Fiona had a sabbatical from her work, and she was getting paid for the 3 months as well. So we were flying first class actually, which was really nice. But on the last day of our holiday, Fiona had a call from work, and they said to her, "Don't come Monday," and so that was kind of like a bit of a downer to the 3 months we've just spent living it up.
Bit of a shock.
Bit of a shock, yeah. And so we sort of decided, because we were both in corporate sort of jobs, and we decided that we didn't want to go back to all that stress and everything like that, but really didn't know what we wanted to do, and so we had to we tried lots of different things, didn't we, for starters?
We did. I think it's fair to say that we started making a whole heap of mistakes.
Yeah.
Which is probably the biggest thing that prompted us to write the book, because we did want to make people similar to us, stuck in the corporate rat race, realise that there is another alternative income model online, and that they don't need to be grafting away in the 9 to 5, answering to someone else, begging for time off, begging for holidays, and all that sort of stuff. And we made a huge number of mistakes, although I've probably since come to realise that we had to make those mistakes because that's the way we learn, and I think that's probably true for a lot of people. Some people can learn from other people's mistakes, but sooner or later, someone's going to mess up, just because that's the way that most people learn, is from failing first, or another nice way of putting it is failing forward.
Yeah, and just we actually met up with, it wasn't until we met Daniel Wagner. I don't know how many people know Daniel. He used to be Stuart's partner in SFM, and he looked at our business at that stage and said that we didn't have a business. We weren't having list building or anything, I don't think, were we?
No.
And that was kind of how we got introduced to SFM. But I really like the second part of that. Your question then is how long until you felt you'd made it. Well, we still don't feel like we've made it, do we?
No.
You'll never ever feel like you've made it, because it's not like all of a sudden, it's not like you're just sort of going along and not doing anything, and then all of a sudden you feel like you're successful, because it's just tiny little things that happen along the way that just make things, something might work for you. Just a little thing will be better today than it was yesterday, and it's just like gradually builds up. So
and it's also something that Jay said at the Momentum Day we went to in January, is that he absolutely impressed on us that success is not a destination. Success is a journey, and you're always on that journey, because when let's just say you set your goal as getting your first lead, and I absolutely think you must celebrate your first lead. As soon as you've done that, your next goal is then 10 leads, and then your next goal is your first app sale, which must be celebrated as well. So you keep adjusting your own idea of success as you tick off those little goalposts on the way. And as soon as your belief starts growing, the success destination starts growing with it. So you never actually am I making myself clear?
Yeah, you are.
You never actually give yourself the recognition that you've come so far, and actually that you have reached the success of what you yourself 3 months ago was looking for. So if you always just think of that success as not a destination, it's a journey, and you're always going to be on that journey. And I don't know if that disappoints people or if it reassures them, because I can remember being disappointed, thinking, oh my God, am I ever going to get there? There is no there. You're just always expanding your belief, always expanding your achievements, and expanding your capabilities of helping more and more people.
And well done, Dave. I didn't realise you got your first lead when you were on the call with us. That's brilliant.
Oh, woohoo! You have to celebrate it.
Because that is the start, that's the start, and that's so that's success, and there's more success to come. But that's the first thing, and that's being successful. So your success at the moment is having made your first lead.
Woohoo!
Yeah, brilliant.
So the next goal is 10 leads.
Yeah.
Frustrating, you get one goal and another 10 are going to be lined up ahead of you.
So sorry, I'm just having a look at the chat to see what other questions we've had.
But even it's even fair to say that Stu and Jay you know, they're not there yet either, because the more they achieve, the more they want to achieve. And Stu's told the story as well, you know, that he thought back in 2011, I think it was, you know, so not so long ago, he had the earlier version of SFM as it was back then, before he partnered with Jay. He had that up and running, and he started traveling the world. You know, and he's sitting on the beach, and I think it was about, you know, PP in Thailand, sort of thinking, well, is this it? You know, is this all there is to it? You know, and he had money, he had the cars, he had the home, he had, you know, was traveling non-stop, and then sort of thought, well, you know, this isn't what I've done all this for. This isn't what I've achieved. I actually want more out of it. You know, he wanted more purpose, more meaning in his life. He wanted to help more people. So he's still on that journey, you know, and he acknowledges that as well. So we can only learn from, you know, what they share with us as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Can you scroll that just up a little?
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, we're still looking at the tiny little chat box.
It's a shocker.
I just wanted to...
yeah, no, it's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, just going back to taking action and to learning and implementing is something that Sandra said as well when she watched the training video with a call to action. She'd be more likely to take action whilst watching the video, and then don't move on till she does it. And I think that's quite important. And, you know, two-prong approach there is that don't watch something unless you know that you're going to act on it straight away. And a corollary to that is don't buy a product unless you know that you're going to use it in your business in this instance. Somebody, a UK person actually asked us yesterday, should she buy the Guy in a Land Facebook scraping product? She doesn't have a budget to do Facebook advertising. So, you know, I said there really isn't any point in buying their Facebook ID scraping product because you're not going to use it. And there's and we're guilty of this even to today. You know, there's a lot of little. If Greg goes silent, I know he's sitting there looking at a sales letter. Then he starts doing a sales pitch on me.
Yeah, I'm not really a salesman, but I'm actually really good at selling ideas. Fiona. I mean, we literally when we started out, you know, like going back 4 or 5 years, we literally just about kept the whole internet marketing industry running with the stuff we brought, didn't we?
Yeah. So now we know, you know, if he goes silent, I know, oh, he's looking at a sales letter. And then if he starts the pitch on me, I'll just say, are we going to, you know, this particular tool, whatever it is, you know, if it's a Twitter training product or if it's a Facebook ID scraping tool, whatever it is, I'll say, are we going to use it today? And then if the answer is yes, I'll say, well, we'll think about it overnight and maybe we'll buy it tomorrow. That's just to you know, disjunct the impulsive action from getting something. So calls to action are important, and that's why it's so important to have calls to action in each of your videos that you do and each of your blog posts that you write as well. And having a call to action seeded softly through a blog post is even more important, so that you're you know, you're getting the message across in appropriate anchor text for that call to action, so that someone, you know, so that the idea is reiterated to your reader or to your watcher as they're taking in your information and getting to know you better.
So tell us about the Tab app.
Oh, the Tab app. You guys were talking about the UK person who asked you about buying Satori Prime's Facebook niche tool. Well, it's funny because I started the Alpha firm in 2012, but last year I made that same mistake. I bought this app, this Tab app, right? And I paid $22 a month for it. And I never used it, and it was only just like in the last 24 hours that I decided to put it into action and use it on our Facebook group page and set up a tab and everything. And I was just giggling to myself when you were saying don't buy things you're not going to use, because it's very true, isn't it? Because like I bought that 12 months ago now, 12 months ago, and I've been paying $22 a month and never used it.
Yeah, and that's yeah, we've done that lots of times, and that's you know, people. It's I always say that the hardest thing in this industry is to make a $20 sale, and once you've made that, you know, you're paying that, and you think, oh, it's nothing to worry about, and it just keeps on going month after month, and someone's making lots of money out of people doing that, and it's you know, it's just it's how a lot of people make money, just by people forgetting about things, isn't it, and not using stuff. But yeah.
But Jason's asked a super question.
Oh, I muted him so he can talk to you if you like.
Again today.
Oh, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hi, Jason. Are you there?
Hey, Jason.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
You there? Yeah.
Can you hear him, Robbie?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. Hi.
Are you going? Yeah. Hi. How are you going?
Yeah, we're good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Very well.
Cool. So fire your question, Jason.
Yeah, I was actually just having a look at your website today, and I downloaded your interviews with I think it was the 10.
The people we interviewed, yeah.
Yeah.
How
to make $1,000 in 1 month online, and so I thought I'd sort of throw that same question back to you guys that you were asking everyone, and see what strategy you would have.
Cool, good question. So if we were starting today, so first of all, probably what we. Actually, I'm just going to mute you, Jason, because I can't. Hang on, I'm just going to mute you. But
I don't think Robbie can.
Oh no, it's Robbie can mute you. Probably if you're wanting to. Sorry, Robbie, can you mute Jason, please?
I can't find. I've lost them.
That's just. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hang on, let me.
Oh, there he is. Yep, got it.
Yeah, cool. Thanks. Yeah, it was every time I spoke, it just sounded like a truck going past my ears. If I was starting today online, the best way, if you only had that much money, would be to offer your services to other people, and build up. You'd need to build up a budget to do, you know, to increase your $200, and you can go to places like Warrior Forum, where there's tons of people on there wanting stuff done, or you could go onto something like Odisk, and you would have to really work your ass off basically to get to $1,000, but that is definitely possible, and once you've got that, then you can use that as an advertising budget.
Yeah, so you kind of need to be completely resourceful and think about things that you're good at, even if it's just you know, maybe if you're a touch typist, then you can do transcription work. But we've got you know, so all of those videos that Stu records, and he, you know, rambles on, particularly when he's out in Mauritius, I've gone and had all of those transcribed, you know, so because I don't want to sit there and type them myself. So there's quite a lot of work going on in transcription. If you're good at graphic design and you've got Photoshop or some sort of graphic design package, then you can set up on Fiverr and design people's logos, design people's Facebook timelines and stuff like that, you know. So you've just really got to think of what is it that you're good at and that you love doing, well, love enough to be able to earn an income, and just start by taking $5 gigs on Fiverr to start amassing a marketing budget.
Yeah, and Fiverr, after all, is really just, you know, it's $5, and you might think that you can't just do stuff for $5, but it's actually how people get themselves introduced to customers. It's how they build customer bases and that. So it's actually a really good way to start off a service with someone who's going on to Fiverr and doing something really, really cheap. You know, it could be something like installing WordPress, you know, or you know, something like that, something really simple that, you know, something like that, people don't know how to do it. Or it could be showing them how you could do a video of how how to create an opt-in form in Aweber or just just any of the things that you've learned. People don't know how to do that, and you can just put that onto Fiverr for $5, and that gives you an introduction to them.
And also Fiverr is brilliant for upselling. If people want stuff urgently, that's another $5. If they want, an extra custom job done, a bespoke job done, that's another $5. So there's quite a few ways of increasing, your income on Fiverr. We haven't done it ourselves, but we know of people that have, and that's how we would suggest, starting out to get a marketing budget. And then if you've got, an income coming in, albeit small like that, then you need to get blogging like a demon to promote SFM. And
or to promote yourself, build your own authority.
Yeah,
really. Yeah.
And Mark Ford's After Marketing training in the back office is the best training to watch to learn how to blog.
So just to go a bit further on that too, Jason. For if you only had $200, I wouldn't spend it on. I don't think I would spend it on Facebook advertising because you need to build. There's quite a learning curve with Facebook, and $200 you're not going to get enough of a return on your investment to make any more money unless you're really good at Facebook, which you can't be until you actually start doing it. So advertising probably wouldn't be. You probably would be able to factor in advertising with that $200. What else? I'm just thinking of any other ways that you could do that if you had a really small budget.
I mean, our idea for listing your skills on Fiverr or odesk.com is all about, working from home still and still, working at your own pace rather than taking a day job.
Sorry, Sandra, keep going.
Yeah, I was going to suggest for Jason with a $200 budget. And yeah, you're right, Greg. I wouldn't start out on Facebook unless you really know what you're doing on Facebook. Because otherwise, your $200 is going to go very quickly, and $200 is really only enough money to test your advertising on Facebook before you even know whether or not it's good enough. But I was thinking if Jason has his website, like his authority site set up, and he's got a couple of good quality blogs on there, even if he can only get, 1 or 2 blogs on there a week, perhaps he could look at using his $200 on a place, on things like Stumbled Upon. Because on Stumbled Upon, you can advertise your blog, your website or your blog site or a particular blog, and that's sort of like an advertising index. You're going up in front of like hundreds of thousands of people, and it's quite small and cheap to do.
That's definitely a possibility.
And I mean, and then if you're sending them directly to his authority site,
Yeah, so he's leading with value, which is a good idea. The one thing I've never tried stumble upon for advertising, but the key thing would be if you can target people accurately as well.
You can.
So,
they have categories.
Yeah, there could be thousands of people or hundreds. Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, that would be a good idea. Yeah.
Lani had a question.
Attracting people with. Oh right, okay, I'll get to her in just a sec. Just if you lead with value like that, going to a blog post first is always, it's really good. We actually just a little example of that. We actually had someone spam us yesterday, and he was talking, which we get all the time, but he was talking about SEO and everything, and we just happened to click on his link, and it went to a blog post that was actually quite valuable. And by the time you'd read that blog post, you almost felt like, oh, I might just get what this guy's promoting because he's given such value. So sending people to blog posts is really good, really good way to introduce yourself to people. Backlinking. Yeah, sorry, Lani, I did see that question. It just disappeared.
She's unmuted now if she wants as well.
Oh, right. Yeah. Go for it, Lani.
Hi, Lani. Are you there? Oh, no, maybe not. You just talk about backlinking.
Yes. Oh, you're there. Good. Cool. Hi, how are you?
Can you hear me? Is there a bit of a delay?
Yeah, it's all right now. There was about a 10-second delay before, but we can hear you fine now.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I'm daydreaming. Yeah, I was just asking about backlinking. I've actually got a couple of leads via backlinking already.
Yep.
Woohoo!
That's the
awesome.
Yeah, I know. But that's the only thing I've really done so far. I haven't actually started my banner advertising campaign yet. It starts next month, early next month. I was just wondering if you thought if they were actually worthwhile, or am I wasting my time?
If you're getting leads from it, it's worthwhile. So
when
you say backlinking, what exactly
how do you know? How do you know the leads have come from backlinking? How do you know specifically?
That's all I've done. That's all I've done so far. I'm quite new.
So you haven't. And you haven't distributed your blog post anywhere, like on Facebook or anything like that?
Not yet, no. I wanted to get a fair bit of content up first before I started sort of broadcasting the blogs, rather than just I've only got
if they have.
Sorry.
Right. Yeah. As far as backlinking goes, so if you can say that they've definitely come from backlinking, then it's a worthwhile strategy. I mean, anything that works is worthwhile doing. So quite a lot of the time when we're speaking to people and we say, well, we really only suggest stuff. We don't ever say this is how to do it. But they might do something completely different to what we said, and they get a really good result. And you know, we're just as surprised. And if it works, though, keep doing it. But backlinking itself is worthwhile for SEO, but it needs to be. I mean, the SEO is such a big subject, and it's completely subjective as well. So you know, it's only what people say. It's a moving goalpost all the time. But backlinks need to come from sites that are related to your site generally, as far as SEO goes, and they need to be natural as well. So I don't know if there's any value, you know, and people they can buy. They sell like 10,000 backlinks and stuff like that. I don't know if there's any value in that or not, or if that actually just harms your SEO. But if you are getting leads and you can be sure that they're coming from backlinking, then it is worthwhile. What did you actually do to do backlinking? Did you buy some links from somewhere?
No, just YouTube comments.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right. Oh, that's good. Well, that's fine. Yeah. I mean that. Yeah. So that's fine, because that's sort of more natural backlinking. You know, that's the kind of stuff that is, you know, Google's fine with that. You know, there's a lot of places where you can buy them. You know, as I said, buy 10,000 backlinks, and that's probably not going to be very effective. It's not going to be a good spend of your money either.
No, this is.
Does that kind of answer that question?
It's quite. Yeah, definitely. It's quite specific where I put the links.
Yeah, no, that's a good strategy. Yeah. And as long as, and the thing about commenting as well, and I'm sure that's what you're doing, but as long as you're commenting about stuff that's in the video, and same with blog commenting as well. I was speaking to someone earlier this morning about that. Generally, if you're commenting on anything, you need to let the person know that you've actually read or consumed the content, because saying great blog post or great video is not so good.
Yeah. No, it's good advice.
Cool. Yep, awesome.
Thank you.
But just if it's working, keep it up, and well done you.
Yeah, thank you. The only thing is it's quite time consuming.
Well, yeah, the problem with any free strategy is that it's going to be time consuming, and it's just the people that are successful at it are the ones that stick with it, because most people don't have the persistence to do it.
And perseverance.
You know, we mentioned Mark Ford earlier on. His blogging system is not for the faint-hearted, is it? or to do it at the level that he's done it, and he's just completely dedicated to it, and that's what he does during the day. Is that's it, you know. If you go back.
Very nicely, and not just have like I notice a lot of backlink comics are very, very to the point, and they're not very, I don't know, they're not very nice, I guess. I'm trying to word mine, so I'm trying to get some quality leads.
Yeah, well, it's good because if someone puts a nice comment on a video that you've done, it's the exception rather than the rule, so you stand out as well. I mean, if I get, usually when we get notified for any comments, it's usually someone just spamming, and when you do get a good one, then it's it's really nice, and you sort of feel more obliged to reply to the person, all that sort of thing. So it's all about giving value. And that just sort of builds up your reputation. So no, keep going with that. That's cool.
Thank you. It's really good to speak to you guys.
No problem. Yeah, you too. Yeah.
Hopefully we'll meet in November.
Yeah, we'll definitely be there. We'll be definitely there in November. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got my ticket. I've just got to organise some flights and accommodation. So.
Yeah. Well, we've still got to do that yet, don't we?
Yeah, we do too.
Yeah.
We'll just swim across.
Enjoy the swim.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're going to be in New Zealand, so yeah.
All right.
We're going to be in New Zealand, so. Yeah.
So when are you heading over here?
Well, it's Fiona's mother's 80th, so.
My mum's 80 in mid-November.
Yeah.
So we're going out for that, and then just need to get across to Sydney.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Nicole. We were talking about backlinking, assuming everyone knew what it was, but not necessarily everyone does know. So backlinking is it's where something that you've written, say a blog post, someone else puts a link to your blog post on their blog or their website. So it's kind of like, as far as Google's concerned, if you get backlinks to your content, then they think that content's worthwhile. But people have really abused it over time, and you do get these things where you can buy 10,000 backlinks because someone said that that's a good idea, which it isn't.
And when we say backlink, it's actually a bit weird, because what it actually is just a link to your website or to your content. It's called backlinking in the industry because it means that another site is giving your content or your website some authority. So every time when you set up a YouTube channel, you can put in a link to your authority site. That's called a backlink.
Yeah, it's a backlink to your authority site. Yeah.
But it is just actually a direct link, So in that YouTube channel, you'll have, let's just say, our authority site will just be GregandFionaScott.com, a link to the main domain of Greg and Fiona Scott, but that's called a backlink in the industry. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, forums and stuff, yeah, you can't put links in forums. Generally, Lani was just saying you have to be careful with forums, though, that it's not widely accepted. You have to put your links and your signature in a forum. You generally have to have contributed quite a bit, first of all.
Yeah, most forums seem to have a certain minimum comment number that you need to have made before you can put a signature in with a link to your website, unfortunately. So even more work.
See you, Eileen.
You're too late, she's gone.
Yeah. So Adam says, what's the best place to get backlinks from?
It's natural backlinks is the best thing. So to get natural backlinks is write really good quality content and share it on Facebook and places like that, and then people will naturally link back to it. So someone will say, here's a great blog post from somebody, whoever wrote it, and you'll get a link that way. And it's a long, slow process.
Yeah, but also the best place, well, the very best place to get a backlink is once you've written your blog post, you need to share it on Google+. So do have a profile on Google+, because obviously it's Google, and links in Google+ are searched by Google's bots, whereas links in Facebook generally are not.
Yeah, yeah.
And when we mean put a post on Facebook, you mean where? Well, it means actually taking the link and posting it into your status update on your profile, and then just saying a couple of sentences about that post and a benefit. Always say a benefit to what it can do for the person that you're enticing to read it.
Yeah, so if you have a look on Facebook, Adam, you'll see loads of people have got links to blog posts and things like that. So it's just a post like that.
But always, if you never, I see this so much, and it really makes me mad, that people just take a link to their blog post and just slam it in their status update and post it. And to me, that's not far removed from spamming, even though it is on their own wall, because you've really got to think about what's in it for the reader. Why should the reader take 5 minutes of their precious time to read that post? And so that's the information that you also should make in the status update, along with the link to your blog post.
Yeah, you've got to give them a reason to read it, not just shove it there and say, nope. They need to have a reason to actually read it.
Yeah,
it is all about value, Adam. Yeah, exactly. If everything that you do in your business is leading with value, and you're just thinking value the whole time, you're going to have an awesome business. But it's not going to happen overnight. The more value that you give, the more you're going to get back. I mean, basically, what most people say is that what you're getting paid right now is a measure of the value that you're giving, and the more value you get, the more you get paid.
Yeah.
So that's.
But in addition to that, there's also the time factor of building up momentum and building up the value of that momentum.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So if there's, we've been on for about an hour, and we have to go for a run since it's mid-morning.
We have to make the first step out the door.
Get out the door, yeah. So has anybody else got any other questions that we can help with? Even any other questions?
Just that question you just said there, Adam, just a quick one. What's value to me might not be value to other people, yeah, but if something's valuable to you, just because the internet is such a big place, it's going to be valuable to somebody else. And obviously everything that you write isn't going to be valuable to everybody all the time, but if you think something's valuable, just do it. Don't worry about whether you think it's valuable to other people. It's really just a matter of getting your stuff out there. It's more than likely that it will be.
Because always remember that you're attracting people that just are a couple of steps behind you. The only difference between you and the people you're attracting is a wee amount of time, and that you know simple stuff. You know how to blog, you know how to keyword, you know how to. I'll mention backlinking. I'll throw that in there. There's all these things that you know how to do, and you know how an online business works. You know heaps about SFM. You know heaps about motivation and self-belief and limiting belief, So if you're writing about all those sorts of things and sharing that content with the people that you're wanting to help and that you're wanting to attract into your business, but you put your own spin on it, that's literally all you need to do. And let's just say if you did a blog post about keyword research, it's going to be different from ours. Greg wants to do one. I guess his is going to be over the top. So that might turn some people off. Where if you sort of go middle line, put your own spin on it, give your own opinions, you'll attract different people to us. And there is no right or wrong. A lot of people get hung up over
whether they said the right thing in their
blog post. They said the right thing.
Yeah,
it just doesn't matter.
You did say the right thing in your blog post because it's your blog post.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your content. Yeah, so you I mean, it's all about being yourself and being authentic and all that sort of thing. So you're just being yourself online, and so what you think is value is value. Even if you're the only person in the world that thinks it's valuable, it's still value.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
I think that's the last question, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So I keep forgetting it's quite late, isn't it?
Yeah, you guys got to go to bed.
Yeah.
Get your beauty sleep.
Well, thanks for letting us come on, Robbie. It's been brilliant. It's been really good.
No worries.
To everybody.
When we finally
it's nice to have you
here. Yeah.
Well, we will be there in person come November. That's not far away.
No, exactly. And I'm working on having guest speakers every second week now, so I've got Tom Breeze in 2 weeks' time.
Awesome.
Oh, well done. Awesome.
Yeah. So you can come along in 2 weeks if you want.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. No worries.
We've heard Tom Breeze till the cows come home. We've been in touch with him ever since we did that first course that you were on.
Since the Purple's cows come home.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Have a nice day. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks for having us.
Everybody. Yep.
See everybody.
Cheers. See ya.
Bye. Bye.